This is breaking news. The first woman presidential inaugural address. Please stand by.
My fellow Americans and our friends abroad, as we enter the second decade of the new millennium, bright rays of hope, prosperity, and peace are spanning the globe. Never in the history of the world has humankind seen such great opportunity and optimism. Our human destiny is before us. America, our destiny is advancement with peace and prosperity with purpose. A resurgent America is good not only for our own people, but for the peoples of the world. Since the Great Recession, America is again pushing the boundaries, achieving milestones at an amazing pace in technology, bioscience, robotics, supercomputing, medicine, and the cultural arts. A testament that dreams do come true. The American dream. America, a new social democracy is dawning. A new America that grows shared prosperity, economic security, and opportunities. A free market economy with governmental incentives that rewards visionaries and innovators, producing the world's greatest entrepreneurs, scientists, businesses, professionals, researchers, educators, and workers. There is no real secret to America's success. America succeeds because of our Americanness. As an example, whereas I am very proud to be the first woman president. But America is not about gender, nor race, nor religion, nor class. What matters is about us being Americans, doing our best the American way. The very fabric of the American way has three interwoven components, three core values. First is the power and diversity of our people, aspiring to maximize our energy, ingenuity, and vision in a free and open society. Second is the resiliency of our government, a nation of laws and democracy, a plurality of interests capable of self-governance and self-correction. Third is America leading, shaping, and maintaining an international order of global initiatives for peace and development. My fellow Americans, a new social democratic America extends the social contract. Government that protects and serves your interest. A government that resonates with Lincoln's government of the people, by the people, and for the people. Government for our times with your engagement. With your help and cooperation, I propose 4 ways to re-engage America. Let's begin a new American engagement. Engagement with our government, our people, and the world. First, renew the spirit of citizen participation. Citizen participation is at the root of democracy and self-government. Democracy comes with your responsibility to exercise the rights of civic participation to make government accountable to you. Let's renew the spirit of citizen participation in our democratic process. Americans young and old, let's get back to talking about the issues and constructing solutions together. I'm calling for the establishment of an American Polis town hall program, sponsored by the federal government, to create assistance for cities and towns to host a free speech forum on issues that matter to you. Feedback from the Polis will make government accountable to you. There are some of you who may say that politics is politics and that Washington is home to gridlock. Politics is about pluralistic compromises. Politics should not be hijacked by narrow ideological agendas. According to Aristotle, politics is a noble human endeavor, deliberating just and civil laws with prudence. Politics is the preserve for noble deeds and actions. Second, embrace a culture of caring in our neighborhoods and communities. America is a nation of caring citizens. Americans are at our very best when we care. Witness a tremendous outpouring of help, donations, and largesse when disasters strike, both at home or abroad. America is also a nation of social media technophiles and gadget buffs, constantly texting and checking their phones incessantly. Know thy neighbors? How many? In simpler times, folksy neighbors cared about each other like extended families. I propose a culture of caring for our neighborhoods and communities. Imagine neighborhood caring associations made up of intergenerational volunteers, students, community activists, retirees, tasked with the mission to improve neighborliness, services, and security. Voluntary associations ready to do good deeds. For challenged communities, neighborhood caring associations could take a lead role to identify problem areas, find preemptive ways to prevent juvenile delinquency, petty theft, homelessness, depression. Neighborhood caring associations could tackle serious issues, drug addiction and dealing, burglary, and gangs by coordinating with law enforcement agencies. Break the cycles of neglect and abandonment. Empower neighborhoods to take back their communities by embracing care and responsibility. Third, realize universal well-being through social democracy. Sharing prosperity will strengthen the promise of America. Economic security affords industries the chance to quickly restructure in order to compete in the globalized economy. Americans displaced will find government ready with federal adjustment assistance. Local retraining and placement programs will provide new employment opportunities. Global growth is a win-win for all nations as humanity ratchets up ever greater challenges. Social democracy will cost an additional 10% of GDP, or about $1.5 trillion. A value-added tax of 12% on consumption would raise half of the total funds. As stakeholders in our common prosperity, corporations, entrepreneurs, professionals, and workers, I ask that higher earners pay slightly more taxes but capped at a 39% top rate. Sharing prosperity means making higher education more universally accessible. Economic security with full employment will lift wages. Jobs that increase our social productivity will be funded by government. Universal well-being means affordable health care services for all. A shared prosperity with economic security will expand the economic pie, creating new opportunities for growth and jobs. Fourth, plant trees of international peace and development. American power is the strongest force for peace. America's standing abroad is high. American power, the United Nations, and the various multilateral regional alliances are dedicated to arrest the spread of conflicts. The world is wary of war. Wars are death and destruction. American leadership and our international allies are pushing hard the instruments for peace. Nations at war, lay down your arms. America is ready to streamline our defense posture with cuts in military expenditures and closures of redundant military bases. But make no mistake, American power will defend and protect the peace against any aggression. American prestige and power can garner an effective international coalition to counter any threats to our national security. Terrorist groups relying on violence and intimidation, trampling on the Declaration of Human Rights, will not stand. America and the international coalition of nations will isolate and defeat terrorism and terrorist groups wherever they hide and operate. America calls on the nations of the world to plant trees of peace, understanding, and development. America will nurture these trees with economic incentives and trade preferences. Several years ago, America and China planted a tree to arrest climate change and global warming. This tree will soon bear fruit by reducing the carbon emissions from both countries. Some seedlings will require careful negotiations. For example, treaties with Iran, North Korea, and Israel over the peaceful use of nuclear power and non-proliferation must be transparent and verifiable. Our treaty with Russia will not only address strategic arms limitations, but also the imperative to end tensions. The treaty for a Palestinian state and a secure Israel will require the full force of diplomacy for it to take root. Treaties with Europe, Asia, and Latin America are growing tall, solidifying long-term cooperation, important for sharing technological know-how for future trends in sustainable development. America understands that there are alternative paths to development and that each nation must find their own way forward. In the Middle East, Africa, and elsewhere, where stable governance is lacking, their developmental potential will be greatly affected. Nevertheless, America will craft trade and investment preferences designed to facilitate their development. These 4 engagements I ask of America. First, the spirit of participation. Second, a culture of caring. Third, social democracy. And fourth, trees of peace and development. In conclusion, I am most confident when Americans unite to pursue a common purpose. Every day, I will work indefatigably. I will execute with gravitas the duties of the greatest job. It is not just for America, but for the sake of the world, that we endeavor to those bright rays of hope, peace, and prosperity. May God bless us and the world with wisdom and compassion.
There you have it, an amazing speech by President Hillary Roberts. She offers a social democratic vision, says Americans should take back government with the spirit of participation via a polis, take back their neighborhoods with neighborhood caring associations. She mentioned social democratic reforms. It kind of sounds like the Nordic model. And then she also emphasized trees of peace and development. We wish her a successful first term as the first woman president of the United States. Congratulations.